Hey, what's up, guys? It's Logic. This is my WWE NXT Takeover Toronto 2019 review. And honestly, guys, this is my third take of making this video. I made this video a couple times. I made a video right after I finished watching this. I actually watched it with a couple friends yesterday. Made it. I was at one of my friend's house. We was having a good old time. I made the video after when I got home, and I made another video just a couple minutes ago after I finished watching it the second time. And I just don't like how it came out. I just feel like it's really hard to talk about a takeover after you just watched it. It was just amazing. Like, it's breathtaking, honestly. So guys, I just want this video to be the best it possibly can be. I want you guys to understand the excitement and passion that's in my voice when I'm calling some of these matches and how epic everything was. But guys, just understand this is my first pay-per-view I'm actually doing. I actually have SummerSlam to review tomorrow, which is gonna happen tonight, but I'm gonna review it tomorrow. I have SummerSlam I'm gonna review tomorrow, which is gonna be a 10-hour show compared to this 5-hour show. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do the best I possibly can. So guys, before I even start the show, this is the perfect time for you guys to just like my video, guys, comment and subscribe. This is the best time for you guys to be liking the video, commenting and subscribing, because it's SummerSlam weekend. We're going to have more eyes on the product. We're going to have old fans, new fans. It's just going to be excitement all over around. I don't know why SummerSlam is not looking too good. On paper, it looks good, but if you've been watching the weekly build to it, it's not looking too good. But, you know, SummerSlam is a notable name, so old fans and, you know, people are going to come and watch. So you guys can like, comment, and subscribe. And the more you guys do that, the more YouTube will push my video out to the people's recommendation page, so more people can watch my video and I can build an audience and have people to talk to about pro wrestling, because that's all I want. I want people to know my love and my passion for this wrestling business. So guys, please, this is your chance. Please help a brother out. Do me a huge favor. Like the video, comment, subscribe, and follow my no, not my YouTube. Follow my my Twitter. My Twitter is at Logic is Key YT. Logic is Key YT. Make sure you guys add the YT because it's for YouTube. I'll be live tweeting. I wasn't live tweeting for Toronto because, like I said, I was with my friends and we were just goofing around. We was marking out, screaming, going crazy. So I didn't really have time to look on my phone and type away. But I'm going to be watching SummerSlam by myself. So I definitely will be live tweeting the whole time. So please, guys, if you guys would just help me out, like, subscribe, comment, follow my Twitter. Thank you, guys. Okay, guys, enough of that. Let's get into this pay-per-view. I don't know how I'm going to do this because, like I said, I did this 3 times now. And it's been hard for me to explain in words exactly how epic this pay-per-view was. But let's just do it. So as you guys know, I made a video, my preview predictions on this show, and I got a lot of things wrong because Triple H decided to swerve us. But it wasn't a bad swerve. I'm kind of thinking of how they were thinking when they booked this show. They did it because somebody had to be called up. It's SummerSlam weekend, so somebody's definitely getting called up. And honestly, if you think of everyone that's on NXT, I don't want anybody to get called up, but I think they did the right decision. I believe that Johnny Gargano will get called up because of what happened after his match, and I will get into that later on. So they didn't want Undisputed Era to win all the titles because if basically they're going to get called up soon. And if they all have the titles, they all have to lose sooner or later. So by having them all lose except for Adam Cole, that means once Adam Cole loses that belt, it will be easy to just have Adam Cole have the loss, and then they all can come up instead of having all of them take a loss. So if you look at it in that perspective, I guess is better, but everybody wanted to see the Undisputed Era win the tag team titles, the UK title, and retain the world title. I said the UK title, the North American Championship. Everybody, the whole crowd was pro Undisputed Era. They were not booing everyone else. They booed a little bit, but it wasn't overwhelming, but they were going crazy for Undisputed Era. So let's just get into it. We have a tag team match, just like usual, a tag team match to kick off Takeover. We have the Street Profits versus Undisputed Era's Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish. Look, I'm messing up already. So, guys, to start off the match, we have Kyle O'Reilly and Dawkins, with Kyle O'Reilly talking trash to Dawkins. So Dawkins manhandles O'Reilly right into the corner with his power, and he's yelling at O'Reilly saying, "What's the joke now?" So if you watch last week's tapings, Kyle O'Reilly and the contract signing, he basically said a joke. The joke is that Street Profits are the champions right now. That's the joke. So that's the reference from it. Dawkins pats O'Reilly's head like a little sissy boy. So O'Reilly slaps him and then gets in between the ropes, so the referee has to shove him back. So basically Dawkins slams O'Reilly and then rolls Riley back around and slams him again. So Fish tags in, and the Profits make quick tags back and forth, keeping Fish in their corner and using tag team moves to keep him in their corner basically. Fish trips up forward off the apron, and Dawkins comes for the rescue, but the Undisputed Era outnumbers him. Dawkins eventually gets the tag to Montez, and Montez hits this beautiful leaping clothesline. And I know I'm not the only one that feels like this, but Montez is going to be a big star. I don't know how many times I gotta mention it. He reminds me of when Kofi Kingston, when he was in his Jamaican days, and still to this day, when he used to leap up and do clothesline, or he used to leap up into the corner and catches them with the punches. He can really fly. This man has wings. So we see Montez go for a moonsault right after the leaping clothesline, and then does the spine buster setup into the people's elbow. So he's teasing it. He's teasing going for the people's elbow. The fans are going crazy. He goes off the rope, and O'Reilly grabs his leg, but he gets him off his leg, and then he hits the rock bottom instead, goes for the pin kick out. So Undisputed Era goes for chop blocks, and they go after his leg. They go for this sick DDT German suplex combination. So we have Kyle O'Reilly go for the DDT. After the DDT, he kicks him up with Bobby Fish having Montez forward in the German position, and as Kyle O'Reilly kicks him up, he does the German suplex. That's a beautiful classic move from Undisputed Era. After this, Ford and Fish, they're on the middle rope, and Fish hits a super exploder to Ford, and Kyle O'Reilly follows it up with a knee straight to Ford's leg. After this, Kyle O'Reilly goes for a submission hold, the ankles heel, I'm bugging. The Achilles heel on Ford, but Dawkins gets Fish and slams him onto O'Reilly. This gets a big pop. This was just another spot on NXT where you just have to love it. The crowd were chanting NXT. It was just awesome. So Dawkins gets the hot tag. He takes out both Fish and O'Reilly. Then O'Reilly goes for a guillotine, and we see Montez climbing the top rope, and he jumps and turns it into a blockbuster. One, two, another near fall. We then see all four guys in like a slugfest. They hitting each other with lefts and rights. And out of nowhere, Dawkins hits a big spear on Fish, then O'Reilly, and then Montez Ford. He goes to the top and hits a beautiful frog splash. One, two, three. The Street Profits win the match. Now, like I said, they're gonna have Undisputed Era be called up soon. So I don't know how I feel about this. I'm pretty happy that Street Profits didn't lose because they're really one of my favorite teams right now. And I don't want their victory just to be a fluke victory. But I gotta say, my predictions of Undisputed Era winning, I was kind of shocked that they won. Like, after they won, I knew, like, damn, the rest of the card, I'm going to take L's. All my predictions are going to be wrong. So that's why I was feeling like that in a way. But I'm real happy that Street Profits won because they're going to stay on NXT just a little bit longer. And I think they deserve it. Now, talk about match stealing. Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. This had to be one of like the best women's matches I ever saw that hasn't had a title online. Like the best non-title match I ever saw before. Candice LeRae, great, but Io Shirai, her new heel character, is perfect. Now, I heard that before she came to WWE, she was actually a heel before. And that's pretty hard to believe because her babyface character was awesome. It was so, I just loved her. The mask and everything about her was perfect. But her transition into this heel character, I think is perfect. I think it fits her perfectly with the red hair, the black and neon black clothing. Perfect. It just fits her so well. So this match, it starts off with Candice rushing to Io, and then the bell rings. After this, Candice gets onto the apron, and Io tries to go for a sunset powerbomb to the outside. So she runs across the ropes and tries to go over and hit a sunset powerbomb right on the outside in the beginning of the match, right away. So Candice does not let go of the rope, so she doesn't hit it. But this would have been a crazy spot to start off the match. But we still get a crazy spot to start off the match. So basically, both women are on the outside. Candice is trying to fight, but Io gets her in the suplex position right away and slams her right onto the announce table. And you can hear the stiff bump sound it made. It sounded brutal. This is why I'm calling it one of my favorite women's matches that doesn't have a title on the line because it was so stiff, so brutal. They went all out. They put their bodies on the line, and I can't talk any more highly about it. You just have to watch it to see how great it was. So Io gets back in the ring. The crowd is booing her. She's getting real heel heat. The referee's counting. She gets the 9, and Candice gets back in the ring. Candice tries to go for her Karana, but Io lands on her feet, doesn't even hit the floor. She doesn't hurt herself, lands on her feet, being cocky. Then she gets Candice in a air raid crash. She spikes her. Io goes for a missile drop kick, but misses. Then Candice gets Io for a octopus lock, or I forgot what it's called. I think it's called like the spider's web or the spider's something. AJ Lee's old finisher move. But Io gets to she gets to the rope and tries to go for a 619, but Candice grabs her leg and gets her in a hangman neck breaker, and she spikes she spikes Io instead, which was devastating. When I was with my friends, we was all marking out. Io, she gets a brain buster from Candice, then Io gets a devastating 619 into the back of Candice's head. This was even deadlier. I was like, oh, she's gonna hit the 619 when she was going for the first one. But when she hit the second one, it was even more deadlier, right to the back of the head. So Candice hits a tope Tornto. Oh my God. This is what I'm talking about, guys. It's hard to just talk about this because I'm just calling some of the major spots. When you're talking about these major spots, they're crazy. So Candice hits a tope tornado DDT, and she hits the tornado DDT at the last exact second. As you just see a regular dive through the ropes, but she spins it around into a tornado DDT. Like, it's crazy. She could have really spiked her, but they get back in the ring. Candice hits a German suplex, then her poison Rana. Candice then does a springboard, but Io does a bridging German suplex and a Meteora. The both of them went to the top and hit a Spanish fly. After all the spots are already said, they hit a Spanish fly. So after the Spanish fly, I'm not sure this is Io's new finisher. I think it is, but Io goes for a backbreaker. I'm pretty sure that's her new finisher, and then she goes to the top for her signature moonsault, and she hits it, but Candice kicks out. Now the crowd went crazy when Candice kicked out. Io puts Candice in a Koji clutch and wraps her legs around Candice's arm so she can't tap out. So Candice was about to tap out when Io put her in the submission hole. And the ruthlessness of Io Shirai, she grabs her hand, wraps it around her leg so she cannot tap out. So basically, Candice, she passes out and Io gets the win. This was one of the best matches of the night. I can't even say that because almost all the matches were up to par with just being one of the greatest matches ever. I can't, like, yo, it's mind numbing, but in a good way. It's mind numbing to just think of what these performers did tonight to basically entertain us. So guys, dominating fashion, Io Shirai wins. Candice got a couple moves in, but it was all Io Shirai just dominating. I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're gonna have Io versus Shayna because it's heel versus heel. They definitely could do it, but I'm not sure if they will do that. I know they're building Bianca back up, but I really want to see Io. This new Io versus Shayna Baszler. I really want to see that match. So after this, this whole card, it just keeps getting better and better. Like, I don't know how they just keep topping themselves. So after this, Matt Riddle comes from the crowd and interrupts the show, basically. He calls out Killian Dane because Killian Dane jumped him last week on the NXT tapings, and he jumped them before they match, and he calls him out, and he's looking around, and Killian Dane comes from the crowd out of nowhere, and they start fighting. They start hitting each other with knee strikes and throwing each other around, and then some referees try to come and break it up. And by this point, they're on the stage, and Matt Riddle hits a ripcord knee, and Killian Dane's on his knees, and he hits another knee right. Like, Matt Riddle's knees are devastating. So at this point, security guards are coming out to stop the fight. And Riddle attacks the security guards, actually, because he wants to fight Killian Dane. He's kicking them, he's kneeing them, punching them. Then basically, Killian Dane and Matt Riddle continue to fight. And Riddle gets on Dane's back, right? And you can just see this one security guard, right? Slowly getting up at the end of the stage, right? And like I said, Riddle is on Dane's back. So he charges at this security guard, right? With Matt Riddle on his back. He grabs him, the security guard, and leaps off the stage. And there's two tables placed right there. And they all collide into this. Oh my God. I could not believe it. Yo, I had to replay that like 3 times to watch it because that spot was awesome. That was just awesome. Guys, I can't wait for their feud. I'm happy that Killian Dane is finally being able to show how much of a beast he actually is. And Matt Riddle, I thought he wasn't going to be on TakeOver, but clearly they still put him on TakeOver. He didn't have a match, but he still had an awesome spot. So I feel like this was just great. I don't know what they're going to do next. I don't know if they're gonna give them their match. I would like to see it on another takeover. I like them to wait it out, but we probably see a tag team match or something like that. But whatever. I just can't wait for this feud. So I know that I said that a lot of these matches were gonna be great, but this match, like, it's a triple threat match. This is the thing. Triple threat matches are not really my favorite matches, but I love how they booked this triple threat match. They didn't have someone sleeping on the floor for most of the match. It was just nonstop action. And like once in the tag team match, once Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish lost, I was getting worried. I had thoughts that Pete Dunne was actually going to win it and he was going to pin Roderick Strong. But as we can see, Velveteen Dream continues to be champion. He actually still pinned Pete Dunne, but Roderick Strong, he just wasn't lucky that night. So we start off the match with Dream, Strong, Dunne in the ring. Dream is playing up to the crowd. Pete Dunne is looking right at Dream, and Dream notices that he's looking at him. So they start arguing, and Strong looks like the third man out. He looks like the third wheel. So he gets upset, and he's telling them to pay attention to him, but they're not listening. So Strong basically he attacks Dream and he attacks Dunne right away, and Strong knocks Dream out the ring. And then him and Dunne, they start hitting each other with strikes. Dream comes back in the ring, clotheslines Strong out the ring, but Strong slams Dunne onto the apron. So basically, he went out the ring, he pulled Dunne out and slammed her straight onto the apron. So Dream and Dunne, they double team Strong and they throw him out the ring. And Dream is basically behind Dunne and he's swerving his hips right behind him. And Dunne, he's upset by that, so they start fighting, and Dunne tries to get him in the bitter end, but Dream gets out of it and crawls away, does his little poses and taunts. But as he's crawling away into the corner, Strong crotches him. He grabs both of his legs and pulls him right into the turn post, which basically crotches him. So Strong and Pete Dunne are on the outside, and Strong, when he does a fury of moves back to back, Strong can really pop any crowd. Strong, he's Strong style. Strong is. He's just brutal. So Strong grabs Velveteen Dream and he slams him right into the apron, another backbreaker. Then he gets Pete Dunne, slams him into the barricade, another backbreaker. Then he gets Pete Dunne again, and he throws him on top of Velveteen's Dream's back, breaking their back. Deadly maneuver. It was awesome. That was a great spot. Couple seconds later, they're back in the ring, and Dream tries to go for a sharpshooter on Strong, but Dunne climbs to the top and hits a missile dropkick to Dream. Dream and Dunne, they go to the outside. Strong goes off the ropes, hits a wrecking ball dropkick, and Dunne quickly climbs to the top and hits a perfect moonsault onto Dream and Strong. Perfect. Oh my God. This match, it was just the way they booked it. Nobody, like I said, nobody was sleeping on the floor. It was non-stop action. So later on, when they're back into the ring, Dunne gets payback for Strong throwing him onto Dream. Dunne hits a German suplex onto Dream, and then he hits a German suplex onto Strong for a near fall. We had a slugfest with all three guys hitting each other. Dream hits Dunne with a Death Valley driver. Then Strong hits Dream with an Olympic slam. Then Dunne hits Strong with an X-Plex. Out of nowhere, you hear "This is awesome," because this is awesome. The crowd was going crazy. Later on, we see basically the Tower of Doom spot where they climb up on the the turnbuckle and they all crash down. Then Dunne gets to he gets a triangle choke on Strong in the corner, right? Then we see Dream climbing to the top, and he hits like a Shane McMahon or RVD coast to coast elbow drop right into Dunne. It was epic. The leaping, the It was epic, yo. The leaping ability of Velveteen Dream. He's him and Montez Ford. I don't know who to compare. There is competition when it comes to leaping because these guys can really jump. They really have wings. So Roderick then he runs into the ropes and he hits another Fury on like just like when we were outside the ring, another Fury moment where he's running across the ropes and he's forearming Dream and Dunn at the same time. We saw this spot with Matt Riddle on Takeover 25. He's just clobbering both Dream and Dunn at the same time with these forearms back to back to back. Like I said, he's one of the best when it comes to strong style. After this, Strong does multiple suplexes to Dream and Dunn, and he actually gets both of them into the stronghold at the same time. And Velveteen Dream, the way his back was looking in the torque, the wrench he was doing to Velveteen Dream, it was deadly. He could have tapped right there. So after this, Velveteen Dream tried to go for a double Death Valley driver, but his back just gave out. He couldn't do it. Then Dunn goes for a double finger snap on both Dream and Strong and hits a bitter end on Strong. Now this was supposed to be the end of the match, but Velveteen Dream is grabbing onto the referee's shirt and stopping him from making the fall. He's stopping him from counting. So the referee eventually rips himself off of Velveteen's grip and goes for the pin, and Velveteen leaps and stop the referee at right when he was about to go down and count to three. The Velveteen Dream leaps and grabs the referee's hand to stop the count, and Pete Dunne is pissed after this. Dunn then lifts up Dream, and Dream catches him and another Death Valley driver. And then Roderick Strong throws Dream out of the ring and hits an end of heartache. He goes for the pin, and out of nowhere, Dream flies with an elbow right to Roderick Strong's back. Roderick Strong rolls to the side. Dream gets the 1, 2, 3 for the win. Perfect way to book a triple threat. This has to be the best triple threat. Like I said before, one of the best singles women's matches I ever saw that wasn't for a title. This has to be one of the best triple threat matches I ever saw before. And I'm not just kissing NXT's butt. I'm being serious. This was booked perfectly. I love how this was booked. So now guys, we get into the match that I thought was lacking. And my opinion on this match was that it wasn't that great. It was pretty slow, and that's Shayna Baszler's style. She's like a old school. She fights like an old school wrestler. She's slow, but I just felt like this didn't have that much momentum. It only got momentum when a spot happened off the top rope. The crowd wasn't that hyped for it. I don't know. Me and him was arguing because, in my opinion, I think Bianca Belair is there, and he thinks Mia Yim is there. So, like I said, this was lackluster to me. I feel like Bianca should have never had the spot, but I feel like Bianca should have never lost. She should have been built up to win and beat Shayna Baszler, but I don't know. I don't want to question how NXT does it. Triple H mind. I don't know how he thinks, but they're building Bianca back up now. But like I said, this match was pretty lackluster. It was just something about this match that's off. Like I said, there's something about Mia Yim that I just don't get yet. I don't understand the appeal of her. I don't know. I wanted her to impress me. I gave her the chance to impress me tonight. If she was going to impress me, Shayna Baszler is definitely the person to impress me. And she kind of didn't. She didn't impress me and made me believe that she can actually do it. So that's my opinion on it. Now, I will say, though, something I never seen before. This was what Mia Yim has done. Mia Yim is, her whole story is she's from the streets and she had to fight her way to make it to where she's at now. Now, Mia has used street tactics. She pulled Shayna's hair, she raked on her eyes, she did everything she can to cheat basically. And not in a bad way, but she just used street tactics to try to get the win. So I can give her that. That's something different. I had never seen anyone do that to Shayna Baszler. So that's a plus. I can give her that. So the story of this match was the arms. Both Shayna's arms and Mia arms were hurt, but mostly Shayna's arms. So early in the match, Mia got Shayna to the outside. She put her arm through the steel steps, right? Her arm is wedged in between the post and the steel steps. And then Mia decided to kick it. After she kicked it, Baszler's arm was injured. So the hot point of the match was when Mia got to the second or top rope and she had Baszler up there too. So she went for Cold Blue, which is a sunset flip power bomb. I can't lie, it was beautiful. I thought she like botched it in a way because of the way Shayna landed, but she didn't. It was looking beautiful. It was perfect. So after the Cold Blue, Shayna then tries to get Yim in the quarter clutch, but Yim quickly pulls on her injured arm that she's been working on and escapes. She headbutts her. Yim then hits Baszler in the arm, breaking and stomping on her arm. So you know how Baszler grabs, like example, the most notable one is the Kodakai. When she puts her arm down and she's stepping on their arm, right? And her arm is in a position where Baszler can step on it and break it. So that's exactly what she did to Baszler. She gave her a taste of her own medicine. So Yim went for a cross arm breaker and Baszler twists her way out of it and applies the Kofia clutch. Again, Yim pulls out the injured arm, so Baszler wraps her legs around Yim's head in like a head scissors, and Yim's taps out basically. Baszler wins. I did not want to vote against Baszler because every time like people assume that Baszler's about to come up, she doesn't come up, and I don't know. I just felt like Mia Yim wasn't ready for this match. I feel like this match was the most lackluster match of the card. I gotta give respect to them. They told a pretty good story with the arm, but I don't know. Compared to all the other matches, this match was like, it just did not stand out. By the way, the amount of wins Shayna Baszler has right now is unbelievable. They have booked her so strongly. I could just imagine when she finally loses, whoever beats her is going to get the biggest pop ever. Because that means she's finally going to get called up and her reign of terror is over. Now, it's not a bad thing that she's losing, but I think that she's overstaying her welcome in NXT now. So maybe the next pay-per-view, the next, what is it? It's War Games. So Survivor Series weekend, maybe that's when she loses it. I think that's best. I think she needs to lose it now because she's done everything she possibly can on NXT. Speaking of done everything they can in NXT, Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano have done everything they possibly can in NXT. I don't know what else there is for them. Maybe Johnny Gargano to finally beat Tommaso Ciampa, but if Tommaso Ciampa comes back, he's gonna be a baby face. He's not gonna be a heel. People are gonna cheer him. So yeah, they done about everything they possibly can. So they've been tag team champions, North American champions, world title. It's not more for them to do. So I knew somebody was gonna get called up, either Undisputed Era or lost, and that's how they would have got called up, or they would have all won and Johnny would have got called up. But clearly they almost all of them lost except for Adam Cole. But this match, this was really the match that left me speechless. Like, if you have not seen this match yet, please go and watch it. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole. 2 out of 3 falls. Basically, 3 stages of hell. Their third match, epic. Completely epic. And there's no way I can possibly go over this whole match. Like Like all like this is what I do. The matches I watch, I don't go through every spot by spot by spot. I go through like the main spots that were devastating, that got the crowd hype, the main spots. There's no way I could go through this whole match for match, spot for spot, because it was just so much things that happened in this match. So I'm just gonna go give you guys the basics of what happened. From the very beginning, guys, from the first fall, you knew that this rivalry will be like one of the best rivalries that you've seen in the modern era. You can see the chemistry and how perfectly these two like are at their craft of at wrestling. They're probably the best wrestlers to consistently put on classic after classic. And my words just can't justify it. Like I said, you guys have to watch this. So I did not mention this earlier because I wanted to wait until we got to this part. And I wish they didn't show it to us. I wish we didn't see this on the pre-show. Imagine your reaction to having them go 4 to 4, right? Finally get to the third fall, and then they unveil this. So on the pre-show, William Regal unveiled what the third fall would be. So we seen a steel cage with barbed wire on the top of it, with weapons scattered all around the ring. Not the ring, the cage, or like it was hooked onto the cage. We had sledgehammers, we had chairs, we had ladders, we had candlesticks, we had fire extinguishers, tables, handcuffs, chains. We had a bag of tools. We had about every gimmick that WWE ever used, every weapon gimmick that they ever used in this one match. And you cannot leave. It's not like a traditional steel cage match where you leave the match to win. No. I'm guessing it's like war games. If you leave, you lose. So it has to be a winner. You have to pin your opponent in the ring. So obviously, Johnny Gargano comes out with a Marvel reference. He comes out as Wolverine tonight. And, like I said before, this is a pro Undisputed Era crowd. It was a little booze for Johnny Gargano, but it's alright. At the end of it, they all show respect for Johnny Gargano. So once Adam Cole came out, the crowd went crazy, started cheering for him. So we started off with Cole with the first fall, right? The first fall was a normal match. Apparently, there was a coin toss on who was gonna, get their first match. Was Johnny gonna get the street fight, or was Cole gonna get the normal match? Apparently, Cole won it. We did not see it. That's what they just said. I wish we saw it. It would have been nice if we saw it, but hey. But I just can't talk about how good of a match this was. Basically, if you've seen match 1 and match 2, you've seen the first match. The sequences and the clinic we had in this match, it just showed how much these two knew each other and how much these two were in each other's head. The super kick spot where they fake it out, they continue to fake it out, try to go for knees, last shots, just variety of moves, similar moves that they do that they try to go for at the same time, and they was just in each other's head. So guys, the last couple minutes and seconds of the first fall, Adam Cole cheats basically. Adam Cole goes outside, gets a steel chair, right? And he's about to hit Johnny. He's teasing it, right? The referee's arguing with him. The referee takes the chair from him and is about to toss it out. And as the referee turns around, this is the perfect distraction. Adam Cole punts him right between his legs, right in his nuts. Johnny Gargano's down. He goes for the pin. Johnny still kicks out, of course. That's one thing. Johnny Gargano always kicks out. You can never expect him to lose, but Johnny kicks out. Adam Cole, he can't believe it. He then gets the chair again. He sits down. He's trash talking Johnny. The referee's trying to get the chair out of there. The referee is taking the chair. Him and Adam Cole is arguing. And as Adam Cole turns around, he gets a super kick. And then Johnny takes the chair and he hits Adam Cole with it. After that, DQ. So Adam Cole beats Johnny Gargano without even pinning him, without even getting a legit pinfall. And as Johnny hits him with the chair, the crowd pops. So you hear the crowd booing Johnny Gargano most of the match. And once he hit him with the chair, the crowd went crazy. Now, my opinion, you can think that this is smart, but my opinion on this was that Johnny Gargano looked like an idiot. Now, obviously, this is wrestling, but still, to me, he looked like an idiot. You basically gave this guy the first fall, and you almost lost the second fall, almost. So I thought he was just going to start beating him with the chair right away, which he did, but they went outside and they started brawling in the crowd and they went all around. Johnny Gargano was hitting Adam Cole with beverages. He was taking selfies. He was just having a great old time. So I was just like, why did you do that? You should have won the first four and then beat him with the chair. But obviously this is wrestling. This is how they book it. So, like I said, they're brawling around the crowd and they're getting close to the timekeeper's area. And Johnny Gargano basically spears Adam Cole through the barricade where the timekeeper area is at. Moro Ronaldo is going crazy. He loves his job. He's putting all his passion into calling his match. You hear like a Mamma Mia chant. So after this, we see Johnny Gargano bring two tables into the ring. And as he's setting up the tables, Adam Cole hits him with a Shining Wizard out of nowhere. Then this spot, he hits him with a Ushigoroshi onto the chair. And every time I see a Ushigoroshi onto the chair, it looks so freaking deadly, yo. Anyways, it was a near fall. Adam Cole then gets one of the chairs and he wedges it in the corner. So, he puts it in between the turnbuckles. But as he's turning around, Johnny Gargano grabs him, hits him with a lawn dart into the corner, and gets a Gargano escape. Adam Cole taps out. So Johnny Gargano wins the street fight, basically. So after this, we see the cage coming down. And we hear the crowd getting crazy. They're chanting, "Thank you, Regal, ECW." They're going crazy. So as they start off, they're brawling. Both men you can see they're exhausted. But both men, they go grab candlesticks, right? And then this spot is epic. They start beating each other with the candlestick. They start beating each other like they're going crazy, like bow, 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 over and over and over again. Then they ended off with a super kick. I was awesome. The super kick that we saw, I think we saw it in match 2 on the outside. Its super kick was awesome. After the super kick, you hear the crowd chanting NXT. They're chanting Fight Forever. And they're just going crazy because this match is just off the charts crazy. So a little while later, see Gargano, he's climbing up and he has a fire extinguisher and he sprays it right in Adam Cole's face. So after this, he leaps off the rope and hits a tornado DDT onto a chair. And holy shit, yo, amazing. Like, that spot was crazy. So both men see a sledgehammer and they both try to go for the sledgehammer. Johnny's trying to get it. He's struggling to get it, and Adam Cole comes along and tries to stop him from getting it. Basically, Johnny goes and does a sunset powerbomb onto the ring, devastating. Then he goes back up, gets the sledgehammer. As he comes down, he's about to hit Cole with the sledgehammer. But before he can hit Cole, Cole hits a super kick out of nowhere. After this, Cole goes up to the corner and climbs, and he sees a ladder, right? So he throws the ladder, and it almost hits Gargano. Thank God Gargano moved out the way. So Gargano basically took a Panama Sunrise as Cole is still on the turnbuckle, hits a Panama Sunrise, he kicks out. So he climbs the ladder this time, hits another Panama Sunrise. Johnny Gargano kicks out again. Unbelievable. So Cole, he went for the last shot this time, right? And Gargano moves out the way. It happens to be a chair right there. So Cole hits his knee right into the chair. Johnny went for the STF, right? Is a candlestick on the floor. So he uses the STF as leverage to pull Cole's neck back. But Cole, since it's a no disqualification match, he bites on Johnny's arm or his hand. Gargano then hits Cole with the sledgehammer in the ribs, and he's selling it. You can hear Mauro Ranallo saying, "Oh, Cole definitely has a broken rib." Then Gargano sets up two tables, and he's basically sets up the ladder as well, and he puts Cole onto the table. So Cole rolls off the table, and Johnny then hits a Panama Sunrise to Cole onto the floor basically and goes for a pin. He kicks out. So after the kick out, guys, basically Johnny sees this bag on the cage wall and he decides to go for it. After he goes for it, he opens the bag up and drop everything from the bag. There was pliers, brass knuckles, and a chain in there. Now my initial thought that it was thumbtacks, and I'm pretty sure the whole crowd did too because they started to boo. The crowd booed because they thought it was thumbtacks, but it didn't ruin the match. It still was okay. They only booed because they was expecting to see a thumbtack spot. So after this, Johnny grabs the pliers, climbs to the top of the cage, cuts one of the barbed wire pieces off. So he has a piece of barbed wire in his hand. Adam Cole sees this and tries to get away. So he climbs up to the other side into this corner where it was like this propped up table, right? I'm not sure if it was a table or not. It looked pretty weird. It was this propped up table that was there. And basically they both are there and they're fighting on this table. And you hear the crowd yelling out, "Please don't die." And I'm literally saying the same thing where I'm sitting at when I'm watching this. Yo, this was absolutely crazy. So basically, Gargano tried to rake Adam Cole's face, and Adam Cole blocked it, but in a fluid motion at the same time, perfectly executed. They both fall at the same time into the tables. Now, it was two tables there, but they only fell into one. It's okay. That spot was absolutely crazy. Crazy, like, oh my God, crazy. So, as this happened, Adam Cole slightly, like barely, slightly fell on top of Gargano, and his arm is wrapped around Gargano. The referee counts 1, 2, 3, and Adam Cole wins this match. This was brutal, brutal. This match was unbelievable. Like, my opinion on this match, yo, they like they could have did it without all the gimmicky weapons and all these other spots, because they could have delivered any match you gave them. They could have delivered, but they showed out for this match. You can see Adam Cole's back is all bubbled up. He has a gash of blood streaming from his back. It was so just gruesome to see. Same thing with Gargano. His body's all marked up. They went to a absolutely crazy war. And that's how the pay-per-view ended. We see Undisputed Era dragging Adam Cole out, help him on his way out of the arena. And Undisputed Era didn't fulfill their prophecy, but Adam Cole is still the NXT World Champion. Now, this was crazy, unbelievable. I have no words to explain this match. So guys, that's NXT Takeover Toronto 2019. It was an excellent show, excellent. At first when I watched it, I was kind of upset because, like I said, my predictions were wrong. But after watching it again and just taking the prediction thing out of my head, this was a classic pay-per-view. Besides the Mia Yim, I don't mean to hate on her. I just felt like she wasn't ready for that stage to be put on a takeover. But listen, man, this was great, absolutely beautiful. I loved it. I don't think SummerSlam is going to top this. SummerSlam is actually going to start in an hour from now. I've been taking so long to get this up, but it's going to be an hour from now. I will be watching the pre-show. I'll be watching the whole thing. Yeah, the 2-hour pre-show. I know it's mostly like video packages or whatever, but I'll be watching it. I don't know if the Intercontinental Championship is going to be on the line. I hope so. I hope we see the tag team champions be on the line too. But guys, thank you guys so much for listening again this far in the video. If you guys enjoyed what I said, please like the video, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Logic is Key. Thank you guys so much, and continue to listen to me. I'll be having my SummerSlam video up tomorrow, definitely by tomorrow, and I hope you guys enjoy.